Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here, joined by Coach Holt for the first time in a minute. Coach, show me the drip. Show me the drip.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go.
Oh, we got her going on. Got her going on.
Let's
okay,
go.
man. So last time we talked, we were talking about winning a World Series and having a great offseason. Now we're talking about spring training. Give us your thoughts of what you've seen so far.
Well, I mean, you're incorporating, a couple of big time signees. But that's not, you already know what you got there. I mean, or you wouldn't have signed them, given the type of money you got. We already know what we should be getting in Tucker Diaz. So that's not the big focus when you get into spring training. That's when the coaching staff, the front office people, evaluations. I mean, big time evaluations go. I mean, they do that year round. That's their job. The front office people and the managers. I mean, the managerial staff. All that. That's what I get. That they do that year round. But this is their chance to actually lay eyes on some of these guys. Some of the guys coming off injury. Some of the young guys who may or may not be making a push now. It's an exciting time. It's as fans when you go there. By the way, I'm sick. I can't go with you out there. But anyway, as fans, it's great because it's laid back. The players are close like that. But for players, for the big time, the guys who know they've got the club made, it's probably a relaxing time just to get ready for the season. They know what they've got to do. The stressful time comes in for the guys who haven't made it yet. Mm-hmm. Around the cusp, the big time, the great minor leaguers that the Dodgers have a lot of those guys. The guys they picked up, that's the stressful time for those guys because they're fixing to make or break themselves. We've seen it, guys that make it in spring training. Matt Holliday is close to me and you, Case. He had a great spring. They sent him back to Colorado Springs. Larry Walker gets hurt. He comes up and he never left. However many years later. So
happens.
That's how that works. That's how these guys. So it's a stressful time for those young cats that haven't made that move yet, and it's exciting for them, but it's also stressful for them. I know, just a great time to be in a wonderful environment in Arizona. The weather, you don't have to worry about rainouts very, very seldom, and you can it's baseball 24/7. Case, me and you, any baseball guy would love. I used to talk about that as a high school coach. Wouldn't it be great if we get a cup of coffee when I walk in the office at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock?
This is all we do.
Is baseball. I'm not teaching history. I'm not having to work. All I'm doing is baseball, scouting, coaching, drill work, whatever. Wouldn't that be a great life for us baseball guys? A lot of guys who aren't baseball people are like, are you nuts? What the heck's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with you? But us baseball people, that's it. So this is a great time for Dave Robertson's staff. Not just that, the minor league staff, Henny and those guys, they're there. Their process of putting their stuff together. The main thing is the big club. That's the focus. Always is. It's always going to be in every organization. So it's an exciting time. It's going to be some kids. We had it in our level case at Stillwater High School and Guthrie High School. Every year you had surprises. You had good surprises. You had bad surprises. You had a guy you were really counting on, like, hey, this guy's getting ready to make a move, and he didn't for whatever reason. You have a young kid, he's a JV player. Next thing you know, he's starting for you. So that's the good thing. That happens on every level, really, of athletics. You always have surprises, things that come across there, and that's the great thing about it. That's a credit to the young people that put the time in. No, like those guys in the off season, what I have to work on to get better, what I have to work on to make a run at it, and now they get a chance to put the uni on. Get out there in front of all the big boys, Andrew Friedman, the whole crew. We're all there and show what they've tried to do to make a statement or to make the big ball club. You're also talking about the two-time world champion, so that's really set with stars up and down the lineup. So it's a tough situation for some of those guys, and you never know, they may end up with other organizations. I know you said it a bunch because you have more of a personal relationship with all these young kids through Tulsa and Oklahoma City than I've developed so far. I'd like to do more, but anyway, you want to see them have success. If it's with somebody else, give them that opportunity. So I know this is it's a stressful time for a lot of people, but an exciting time.
It absolutely is. So having said that, and we're going to get into yesterday's action here in a minute. We're going to break it all down with Coach Holt, with video. We're going to do all that. But I've got a couple of talking points I wanted to get to with Coach because I love getting his perspective, and it always kind of puts me in my place. Anytime I start thinking I know a little bit more than I actually do. I love listening to Coach Holt because it's like, oh, yeah, well, there's a whole nother world of knowledge out there. It's kind of the same way whenever you get around the Dodgers. So what do you tell a guy like Ryan Ward, who there's really no spot available? He's not going to be the fourth outfielder. He's probably 2 or 3 deep for being the fourth outfielder unless he just completely goes off offensively. So he gets up there, and I'm going to say point blank, I know Wardo very well. He had a tough transition to AAA. It took him a year or two. I've warned Dodgers fans that it was going to be a transition to this period, and then you're trying to do it knowing that I have about 2 weeks to prove myself. And there's an unnatural press to what's happening to Ryan Ward. But having said that, too bad. This is what it is. You are on the 40-man. This is your life. This is your opportunity. So you either take advantage of it or you go to Oklahoma City. So while maybe it's not fair, so what? Life isn't fair. What do you tell that guy?
You basically what you just said, Case. You have to. You're not going to fool Ryan Ward at this point. It's not like it's his first rodeo. He's been on the cusp of, of highly successful, as you mentioned, once he got acclimated to AAA level, been very successful, yet still not having a spot on the big club. So, first of all, you don't want to lie. You're not going to lie to the guy. You wouldn't do that anyway, but you're sure not going to feed him a line of crap that he's not going to believe, first of all. And second of all, it's not true. You lay it out to him just like you did right there, Case. I'm going to be totally upfront with you because I care about you. I love you. I want you to have whatever that looks like in your lifetime. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Same thing you just said right there. You're going to have a tough time, getting in the big club. Life's not fair for a lot of times. It happens all the time, Case, in every sport. Sometimes you just look at them and go, man, that kid can't get a break, or that kid is just with the wrong, like a local, radio person out here in Oklahoma we had, Jim Traber. I mean, he was a good major league hitter, but he's behind Eddie Murray. He ain't ever going to make the big club. And when he did, he wasn't there very long. So, that life wasn't fair for him. Not that he would have been a great hitter so much, but he would have been a big leaguer with somebody that didn't have Eddie Murray at first base. So that's what you run into. Same way the Dodgers, if you're a first baseman with a Freddie out there, good luck with that one. And they're surely not going to have a DH for a long time. So, that's the realities of this business. It's a great bit, it's a great sport, but it's also a major, big time, multi-billion-dollar business. And there's those stories like Ryan Ward out there. You love the guy. He's giving you everything. He's shown he probably has a chance he could be your third or fourth outfielder on the big league club. But the way it looks now, you may not make that. So first of all, you got to be up front with the guy, Case. You can't feed him a line of crap because he's going to see through it. First of all, then you lose the trust factor. If he don't trust you, if you don't trust the people around, the people that are working with him, the people that are making decisions on him, it's going to make it even harder for him. He's in a highly stressful situation, as you mentioned, like all the other guys in those situations like him. So you just have to be upfront with him, give him an opportunity, and you're pulling for him. Like you said, if he comes out and hits 450 and goes off in the spring, he'll take care of that himself. But
that's his only shot, Coach.
That's his only shot.
If he's even with everybody else, he's buried.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what and he has to. First of all, Ryan Moore, I don't know him. You do. He's probably smart enough to already know that. But You certainly would never lie to him, give him an opportunity. I don't know. If you could move him to another club, maybe it'd be great for him. I don't know. We've seen some of the Dodger guys move on and have very good careers. That have done well in other organizations. So you hope that maybe they could do something like that. That's not always the case. There's a lot of variables that go into that. What other organizations are looking at and what the Dodgers are looking at. So that's not as easy as we make it sound sitting here in Glencoe, Oklahoma, and in late February. It sounds easy to me, but I know there's a lot that goes into that with the organization. So you just hope the young man, I think he knows where he's at. Like I said, this isn't a first time deal. Some of those guys that haven't been in this situation before that maybe are made a quick jump out of Class A ball. Now they're looking up, they may have a shot. Those are the guys that are really not sure what they're up against. I think Ryan Ward knows what he's up against, and he just got to continue to show up every day, put the uniform on, and give it your best effort. That's all you can do.
So if you're his agent or his dad or his former high school coach or college coach there at Bryant, whatever, and you're the guy that he kind of goes to for that off-the-record type of advice,
right?
Do you give him the advice of, hey, if this doesn't work out in spring training, request a trade? I mean, I know the Dodgers don't have to do that. Do you tell him to go that route, or do you just tell him, hey, just keep your nose to the grindstone and good things will happen to great people? Which way do you go there?
I think in his situation, maybe you do want to ask for a trade.
Yeah.
Like I said, Case, this isn't this isn't the first spring he's come into a similar situation. A couple of years ago, the Dodgers weren't near as good as they are now. I mean, they were good. Don't get me wrong; they were outstanding, but they weren't loaded 2-time World Series champions. So, things have changed in a couple of years as far as his outlook too. And we used to always tell kids that sign with the colleges, hey, by the way, they don't quit recruiting just because they sign you. They signed you, they're going to try to find somebody better than you tomorrow. That's kind of the nature of the business with athletics on a college and professional ranks too. So if I was his father, I'd say, hey, give it everything you got. Talk with the people in the organization, see if there's an opportunity to move. You'd rather stay there, but you're not getting any younger. I mean, I think it goes back to what I feel like you need to be real with a kid and let him know where you are. If I was his dad, I'd say that for damn sure.
Yeah.
And probably in U of I case have developed relationships with high school kids over years. They seem like your second sons. And if I was his high school coach, I'd probably tell him the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Gavin Stone, man, what'd you think about him, Coach? Very impressive.
Nice changeup. Had good velocity. Yeah. I said the changeup looked good.
There it is.
I think I looked at some comments Dave Roberts had. He said it looked like he had missed a beat. Isn't it amazing the things they do with surgery nowadays, Case? These guys come back and, you look at a guy like him. I mean, I didn't see all the number 95. I mean, he's 95-ish, wasn't he, somewhere around there? With a good changeup. I mean, he commanded the fastball. So what I saw, I didn't see ever pitch he threw, but definitely something that wasn't a bad look at all. Like I said, I look at Dave Roberts' comments too. He thought he had great command of his fastball and a good changeup. And man, for a first time out, very optimistic to see that.
What's really cool about spring training? Obviously, you get to see all the prospects, and you certainly get to see them with the Dodgers because I think it's really cool how the Dodgers do it. They play so deep into the season, and they've done it for so many years. I mean, you're talking about some of these guys like Freddie Freeman and Mookie and Will Smith. These guys have played almost a half a season more than everybody else in the major leagues because they play so long in the postseason. Then they take trips to Korea. You have the World Baseball Classic, all this. So at the beginning of spring training, the prospects probably get a lot more action and a whole bunch more looks than maybe other organizations get. They've showed out well for themselves. So I say that to say I think it's really cool because, in the minor leagues, you have the younger guys in low A and in high A. Then you have kind of the tweener guys in double A. Then in triple A, you have the older veteran guys like a Ryder Ryan or a Nick Senzel or Santiago Espinal if he starts in Oklahoma City. Yeah. But rarely do you get like the young 21-year-old like a Josue DePaula or a Zaire Hope mixed with the Nick Senzel, where you can actually match them and grade them together, apples versus apples. So I found this spring training to be very convincing and very exciting for the fact that I can look at Santiago Espinal and also Josue DePaula and Zaire Hope and Zach Earhart and James Tibbs, at least to somewhat of an extent. I mean, I know that the pitchers are different as the games go on, but I can kind of look at them in the same environment, at least in front of the same people on the same field, and kind of get a look like, because this is always the debate with the Dodgers, for your marginal players, your guys on the margins that you're filling in, do you want to go get that quad A veteran that has 500 major league at bats, or do you want to go get the exciting young guy? And getting to see both of those processes play together on the same field in the same game, I think it's fascinating to watch.
No, it's great. And like you said, you're seeing these guys on a major league level. Yeah, they may see some downline pitching, some young kids as they go, but usually maybe you'll see a starting pitcher. You may see a top line starter, for an inning or so. Then you get to see Zaire Hope hit against Skubal. He's not Skubal's in Florida. I know we're not going to see. I use that as an example, but I'm just saying you get an opportunity to see them compete on a major league level against major league baseball players. So, as you said, Casey, it gives you something to compare it to. If you're in Tulsa, yeah, he's as good as everybody out here, or better than some. Same way in Oklahoma City. Out here, these are the best players in the world. Some of them are sitting over there, and drinking a Gatorade and chilling out in the clubhouse in the dugout. But for the most part, they're still on major league level. When you have workouts, when you're out in the field working, you can gauge them. You have something to compare them to right in front of you. I don't have to sit down and watch video all day when I can go out there and do. If I'm the infield coach, I can work infield drills with a minor leaguer, with a 21-year-old right there along with Mookie Betts. You know what I'm saying? You get that opportunity get a true evaluation of a guy. And the best part about that is that young kid. I don't know Mookie Betts. I assume he's a guy that turns around and helps the young guy because Mookie wants to win too. This guy comes up, I want him to be good. So I don't know. I don't know how those guys are if they share. A lot of the best ones I've been around were openly, very easily to share information with young kids. That to just try to help them out. They didn't feel threatened by it. I know some people do and probably won't help them, but that's just a great environment for those youngsters to get in. They're in the major league clubhouse. They're doing things in major leaguers. They're seeing major leaguers. And like you said, Case, the front office, all the coaches from the major league level on down have an opportunity to see these guys compete.
And that's enough pressure, I think, to get a gauge on how they handle pressure. To an extent, not totally, but I think there's enough pressure there to know, hey, this is in front of Dave Roberts, in front of all these guys, same field. I think that's enough pressure to go, okay, well, how do they handle maybe a bigger moment?
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's something Dave Roberts and people follow away.
No doubt, absolutely. That's what they're evaluating.
Yeah, they're evaluating that type of stuff. And we saw it a couple of years ago when the Dodgers had to go deep in the minor leagues and all the pitchers got hurt, and they had an idea who they wanted to go get. The guys they've already seen, like you just said, Case, guys they've seen, they've been in touch with, Eric Wedge and Henney and with those guys. They've been in touch with those guys. They're hearing from them what they're seeing on the field, what they've seen.
Austin Chubb, Rob Hill, training. Sean Coyne, all these guys.
Oh, yeah. They're constantly getting that information. So these guys are way ahead of the game. We know, Case, there's always a plan A, B, C, D, and on down the line, especially with pitchers are involved because the Dodgers. I know we just care about the Dodgers, but I know every organization goes through it with really, I think 2 years ago, the Braves lost their entire starting rotation. So it's just the nature of baseball anymore. So there's always a plan A, B, C, D, go on down the line, or whatever you want to call it.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to get into some of the quad A guys. And again, when I say quad A, I mean guys that have major league experience, that are on a minor league contract, and also have the ability to be sent to AAA Oklahoma City. So this is Ryder Ryan here, Coach. This is River Ryan's brother. This is a young man that was a shortstop at the University of North Carolina on some elite baseball teams. So just like River, incredible athlete, super competitive. He has major league experience. He's been in pro ball forever. Ryder Ryan was around 95 yesterday. The slider looked fantastic. That little cutter right there that you just saw is a really, 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 there's that slider right there to the outer half. Ryder Ryan, I think, him and Santiago Espinal, who we'll get to here in a minute, those are my two quad A guys that have jumped out to me the most so far.
That's a great way of looking at it, Case. I mean, that's his opportunity. I mean, he's out there throwing it with everybody looking, and there's no secrets now. We know there's no secrets anywhere. Every club has seen this guy's video. I mean, there's no secrets. People in the scouting department, people in all the organizations, they know what their guys can do. They're looking at everybody else, especially in these situations here.
What are you seeing here from Ryder, though? What that you like?
Well, I like the slider.
Yeah.
I mean, he's compact. He's not throwing against his body much. I mean, he's nice and compact. Delivery looks good. Kind of a semi 3/4 over the top. So he's very
tougher
consistent.
arm slot. Yeah.
Yep. I like his arm slot, and like I say, he carries himself. Just look at his body. Say he finishes up there in pretty good fielding position. That's not a big deal anymore. I know, Case. Everybody falls off the freaking mound anymore. Don't get me started on that. I'm old.
Yeah.
Because
they're maximizing. Yeah.
He ends up in a good position to field his position. So he looks the part. There's a lot of things that go into it, as we know. I don't know the guy's mental makeup. I don't know any of that stuff. Obviously, he's got somebody who wouldn't be where he's at.
I do. He's a Ryan. I don't know Ryder at all, but I know River, and I know the stock that they came from, and I know it can't be that different. And if it's anywhere as close to River Ryan, then count me in on the mentality of Ryder Ryan. Okay, Santiago.
Brothers. It's like Buddy's boys. Let's get them up there. Get the Ryan brothers together. Let's go.
Coach, as well as I do, you've built a million different rosters in your day, and that is whenever you have like one or two positions left, they may not even be starting positions. They may just be spots to where, hey, we need a guy that can steal some bases, or we need a pinch hitter off of a left-handed pitcher, or whatever it may be. It's usually, hey, I need a guy to be able to do one particular thing.
Yep.
Well, that's Santiago Espinal. Don't forget, he was an all-star in 2022. He can hit lefties very well. He can steal bases. He's very versatile in the infield. He's played a really good third base, a really good second base. I think of everybody in spring training so far, I think the quad A guy that's raised his stock the most, if that's even possible, at least he has in my opinion, is Santiago Espinal. Right now, I'm going to say this point blank, if this season started tomorrow, for me, if it was up to me, it's a slam dunk he's on the 26-man roster. That's just for me, though.
No, I agree, and we still don't know Edmund's status. I know he's still out. I know he's still
yes,
hurt.
That's until Edmund gets back. Absolutely.
Yeah, until Edmund gets back. But the point being, that's what we talked about at the start of the show here, Case. I mean, there's a guy, he can do a lot of things. And, he can play multiple infield positions. He swings a bat good, handles a bat good. And
experience.
That's what this is all about. I mean, that's what this is all about. Get your opportunity, young man, and make it. He's hungry. He wants to be a big leaguer.
He is hungry.
He plays the game. These guys haven't got to eat yet. So that's obvious, and that's the great stories that we see every year in every organization. Like I said, we don't give a crap about anybody but the Dodgers right now, but I'm just saying every organization has those stories, and that'd be great. I know I had hit notes down there to myself, and that's the one without having as much knowledge as you do, and certainly Austin, but it had Espinal's name down as a guy who may break with the club, all things considered, if Edmonds kind of slowed up on his rehab.
So this can go a couple different ways. You can either have a sophomore slump, which I know this is going to be the part of at least a third year for Andy Pages.
Yep.
But it just looks like to me Andy Pages is adjusted. It looks like he feels like he belongs. It looks like he's comfortable. He's confident. And he's starting to reach all parts of the strike zone. When he came up, Andy Pages had hot zones. He had cold zones. That breaking ball away right there was a cold zone. The fastball that, not necessarily a fastball in, but like a two-seam that started middle and worked his way in his hands. He had a hard time getting in on that because he leaned out over the plate. I tell you what, as far as we talked about quad A guys, I think the two guys, as far as the quad A guys that have raised their stock for me the most are Ryder Ryan and Santiago Espinal. Of the returners, I think the guy that has turned my head the most, the two guys are Teo and Andy Pages, but especially Andy Pages, and it's not just the hits. He's been on fire. It's how he's getting them. The breaking ball away, he's taking it to right center. He's able to get to that inside pitch. It's the process of which he's gathering his hits that I'm so impressed with Andy Pages.
Well, we saw when he first came up, he struggled big time, and then he come out hot as heck last year. And as we know, the league learns, the league finds out, and he kind of leveled off a little bit. But let's don't take for granted the fact the way he ended the year. He started out hot, then he had a slow period, but then he started coming back a little bit, and you're sitting there going, okay. Then he makes maybe the biggest catch in the history of Dodger World Series history. It's a game-winning double right there. If he don't knock, Kike down, catch a stinking ball.
Kike said he was going to catch it. I love you, Kike. BS, no, you weren't catching that ball.
Kike,
sorry, bro.
Willie Mays wasn't going to catch it either, and he's one of the greatest ever, I promise you.
Sorry, bro.
No, that was great. No, I love Kike. He may have,
yeah.
Who knows, but thank God Pages is taller than him and just knocked him out of the way and took it. But he has been so good. I think we've seen, and also here's the other part about it. He's going to hit probably 8-hole for the Dodgers.
Yes.
He don't have the pressure of being a 3, 4, 5-hole guy. If he was hitting
6, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there. If he's 3, 4, 5-hole, dude, there's the pressure on you to be the dude. Well, he's got dudes all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
He can be Andy Pages. He can be his guy. He can, he can work through it. He knows he's going to be. He's defensively. He's hit good enough for the major league level. He's going to get opportunities. He can work on his game without having to be the guy every day to be the Freddie, the Mookie, and Tucker now and Ohtani, those guys that have to be the guys. He don't have to be. He can be himself and just work. The kid that was with us before, the big, good-looking kid, I forgot his name has slipped me. The outfielder we had before him that we brought up that struggled big
James
time.
Outman.
Yeah, James Outman. That was a guy that never really adjusted. I love James. I mean, great body. You're looking at him going, this guy's got every tool you need. But he never had that adjustment. He never adjusted anything. Paul has already showed he can do that, and he got better. So what he leveled off right there. That happens to every major league hitter. It happens to Freddie and Mookie had those damn times. So let's don't act like, and so did Ohtani. Let's don't act like that's not a part of being a major leaguer playing 162 games. So let's don't put too much into that of him going to hell and he's not ever coming back. He's proven he can hit major league pitching, quality major league pitching, and hit it well. somewhere in the middle. We need him somewhere in the middle. He's not going to be that guy, but he's also not going to be a 190 hitter. We need him somewhere in the middle because we know we're going to get defensively great work out of him.
Yep. Teo Hernandez is on fire, and also I keep saying it, but Freddie Freeman said it again yesterday in the interview I posted here on the YouTube side of Dodgers Daily. He keeps talking about how he had an entire offseason that was normal. He's healthy. And then also they've hinted, they haven't quite come out and said the extent of things. We have no clue just how injured this guy has been. The ribs and the ankle and all that. I just think, I know he's getting older and he's getting that age where you worry about regression. And I think that the aging regression is going to happen. But I think the fact that he's this much more healthy and had a nice offseason, both, hey, and you forget, my dad taught me a long time ago, you know how wise my dad is. The GTP is what we call him.
Yes.
He said there's two kinds of work. There's physical work and then there's mental work. So I think probably the hardest part of being injured and trying to play with it is just the mental grind of getting over how hard it is to play when you're not at full faculty. So he's able to relax his mind all off season. He's able to get into a regular routine. We know Freddie Freeman's very routine oriented, and he's able to figure out, just kind of the normal routine of things. So I think the normal routine aspect of what Freddie Freeman's gotten, being healthy again, is going to far outweigh the aging regression I think that people are worried about. So I expect a big year out of him, and Teo Hernandez looks fantastic.
What was the thing about Freddie? You mentioned it right there. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, we knew he had a bad ankle, blah, blah, blah. What we didn't know is he had broken ribs as the Dodgers are winning the World Series. He never misses a game. We saw the foot deal. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. The guy has proven over and over, not only is he playing hurt, he's been productive hurt. He hadn't been the Freddie Freeman that we really wanted, so to speak, but he's also been productive enough to win ball games for you on the biggest stage in the world. And to play a great first base, and do his thing, and we didn't know. That's a beautiful thing about these true professionals, and by all accounts, Freddie is one of the best people on the face of the earth. Not only best baseball player on the face of the earth, but again, when you walk in the clubhouse, if I'm a guy looking up and I see Freddie Freeman getting treatment every day, and then never missing a beat, never complaining, never taking a day off, they got to where they gave him some days off. Roberts did a great job last year of resting him as much as we could, so we knew there were some injuries involved there. But the leadership he shows to the rest of the club, not just with his mouth, he don't have to talk it. What he shows every day, the way he shows up and does his business, does his work, gets things done. And if he's healthy, I'm like you, Case. If he's healthy, we're going to see probably closer to the Freddie Freeman we saw before.
Even though he's aging,
Even though he's aging, before he starts going downhill. We all go downhill and we get hurt. He looked old last year, but he really wasn't. That's happened before to people. I remember one time they thought Roger Clemens was totally done. He comes out and he goes 99 for about the next 4 or 5 years. Everybody thought he was done, and he had 4 or 5 more years of domination. So you never know how bad a guy's hurt and how much it affects his performance. But Teo's the same way. He had a great first year of the Dodgers, and last year he had some struggles in there. But again, a veteran player that has been proven. We don't know how much he was hurt either. I'm assuming
lost a bunch of weight. Yeah. Looks great.
Yeah,
what losing the weight does, it just goes to show you're committed to doing all the right things.
The Dodgers don't miss anything. I mean, the front office don't miss anything. If there was a concern, he'd already be gone. They would have cut to the chase with him right after the season last year and tried to find somebody else. Yes, we need another outfielder. We got one, Kyle Tucker, but they stayed with him for a reason, Case, and I trust their judgment. They've had some misses.
It's the full package. They got Teo for the full package.
Yes, they have some misses like here. They're not 100%, but better than any other organization, probably in pro sports. Next to our boys down in Oklahoma City. But,
it's like I always tell OSU fans, about our head coaches. They always want their coach fired, and we are in the middle of a pasture in Stillwater, Oklahoma, flyover country. And I'm like, dude, does this guy have warts? Yeah, so do I. So do you. Yep. They're not perfect, absolutely not, but I'll tell you what, we're not going to do better, right? So until you can give me a better solution, so that's kind of Teo Hernandez. What I'm trying to say is, not that he's not perfect, but whenever you put the whole package together, he's damn near perfect for this Dodgers organization. That's kind of how that's worked out.
I think it's the same thing. It goes back to him with Paez. He's a better overall player than Paez, his career shows, but he's also hitting a little lower in the lineup. He probably hit a little lower in the lineup this year, where he doesn't have to be the guy. He can still be totally, man. Would you like if you say you had a game where you had him hitting 7 hole, Pages hitting 8? That's a pretty damn good lineup.
It is.
If you got that as your 7 and 8, not that they will, like you said, they're going away from 6, 7, and 8, and maybe move up to 5 depending on who's in the lineup, but that sort of thing. So that's a great situation to have right there. Yeah, the Dodgers. You know, I totally trust the front office. They'd already made a move if there was questions with Teo, any type of questions whatsoever, they wouldn't have stand pat. They've already proved we're not standing pat.
Year after year.
All the Dodger haters are out there. You know, I get it. Case, I'm old enough to remember when they were the Yankees. Everybody hated the Yankees because they signed all the free agents. Catfish Hunter, go down.
You mean like in the 70s?
Yeah, 70s. That's what.
Yeah, you're not talking about the early 2000s.
No, I'm talking about the 70s.
I know.
I go back.
I'm dating you, Coach. I'm being honorary.
This is before you were born.
I know.
You were. It was right after you were born. Anyway, yeah, they're right there. They get all the free agents. Everybody hated the Yankees because Steinbrenner's just buying players. He buying a championship. Well,
Cry me a river.
Whatever, dude. You still got to walk out and throw it and catch it and hit it. So I don't buy it. I didn't buy it. You know, I hated them then because I was a Dodger fan. They beat us in the World Series. Well, I hated them. I hated the big red machine too because the hell we couldn't even get the playoffs with them. But that's old school. I'm just saying that all goes back in the same thing. You still have to. Anybody that tells me, "Hey, your Dodgers just give them a trophy," it doesn't work that way, dude. The Blue Jays didn't give a crap. They were good enough to beat the Dodgers last year. A lot of teams have been good enough to beat the Dodgers. They just haven't done it.
That's right. Hey, Coach, I'm going to have you take this over for about 2 minutes. I've got to go run and take care of my dog just for about 2 minutes. So what I want you to get into is Dalton Rushing. I think he looks perfectly comfortable this year. I think last year he was trying to prove that he was the best prospect, this and that. To me, he understands his role, even though his role is probably not what he wants. At least he knows exactly what his role is. The Dodgers have well-defined what he is expected to do this year. And to be honest with you, I don't know his batting averages. I don't think it looks great yet. But he's hit a couple of balls hard. But more than that, just the eye test for me, he looks very comfortable to me at the plate so far. So talk about what you've seen in Dalton Rushing.
Well, and Dalton's been a productive, effective guy. When he's in the minor leagues, one of the best minor leaguers in any organization, and he's earned that spot. And let's face it, being a Dodger backup catcher isn't a bad place to be. You know, Austin Barnes, you got a lot of opportunities, having Dodger backup catchers, because we know Will Smith is such a good he's a great defensive catcher. We all know that, all-star, but he's a great offensive catcher. In the dog days, we'll beat him down. The Dodgers do a great job of getting him rest. So Dalton Rushing is going to get tons of opportunities to do his thing. And he's earned it. That's the thing about it. I've seen some comments from Dalton here recently. He said just exactly what Casey alluded to. I know what my job is. I'm going to catch. I'm going to catch some of the best pitchers on the face of the earth, playing for the two-time world champions, one of the best organizations in the world. I'm going to spell off, Will Smith. But it's not just, hey, I'm filling in for the hell of it. They can get anybody to do that. Really, they can. But that's a very important job to get Will Smith his rest. But you maybe pitch hitting. I think he alluded to the fact even with pinch hitting, maybe he's got to come in and get a bunt down the eighth inning. I know bunt's a four-letter word.
That's a cuss word.
It's in the major league. I know bunt's a four-letter word.
It is in Division I baseball too.
God, in Division I, nobody wants to freaking bunt unless you want to win. At some point when you get down in October and you want to win, you'll see somebody lay a bunt down. I remember me and you were talking about that. It was 2 years ago. Somebody laid down. There was 3 sacrifice bunts in one inning in the playoffs. Why? Because they're trying to win a game. Anyway, he may have to come in and lay a bunt down. Maybe he's come in and just hit the ball the other way. Hit the ball, hit the right side. Just come in. We just need a hit. And
I think the fact that they moved on from Rortvet, I think that helped ease his mind that, hey, he is the guy. Just relax. This is your role. We're going to stick with you. Yeah,
you're with it. You're our guy. You're here. It's an important role. So I'm just saying, case for you, you're just messing with the Dodger dogs. It's very important. We've seen that.
Agreed.
It's a huge thing. And the thing about catchers, we're just a foul tip away off Will's finger of you being the starting catcher for the world champ. So, that's how important this role is. It's like the backup quarterback. Guys will say, I like to walk around the clipboard and cap on, make millions. I said, unless the starter gets hurt, then by God, your ass is in there, and you got to perform. So it's the same way with the backup catcher. You're one foul tip off Will's finger away from playing 30 games. So, that's how important that position is. And that's the guy who feels, the catcher handles every pitch of every game. It's not a guy, maybe a left fielder who touches the ball 3 times. This is a big time deal. So that is such an important position. is the backup catcher on any level case. Me and you could talk about that in high school too. You got to have a good backup catcher. In a major league, it's off the charts how important that is. And like you said, Dalton, no, here's your role. You're with the club. This is what you're going to do, and you may do it for years. I don't know how much longer Will play. I mean, he may do it for years. He may have something else come up. So that's a great role. But like you said, Case, the pressure's off. That hey, you're the backup catcher for the Dodgers. That's a pretty damn good job to have.
Hey, we got a question here from Jo that for you, Coach.
Okay.
So here's the question: Rushing plays some first base and could use some runway. What is your message if you were the organization or Dave? What would be your message to Freddie to get him to buy into load management, which would then at the same time give Dalton some more runway?
They may already have. I don't. We're not privy to those conversations.
Like if you're a coach, how would you word that to Freddie? How would you convince him?
Well, he's been hurt for at least a couple of years, right, Case? I mean, he's been nagging injuries at least for 2 years. I think I approach it that way. Hey, you're healthy now. We want you to stay healthy now. We want to try to avoid that. I think that's how you approach it. And that's not BS, because Freddie ain't going to fall for BS. And I'm not going to give Freddie Freeman BS. Got too much respect for him. But I would say, hey, you're healthy now. That's where we want you to be. We want to see the best of Freddie Freeman. We need to give him some opportunities. We want to try to load management as much as we can. It obviously won't be as much as last year if he's not hurt.
And we'd love for you to play till you're 40. So let us load manage to get you there.
You have to. He can't play every day and continue. He'll get hurt. It's like Will. We can't catch Will every day. Again, that's a much tougher position. We just went into that. But I'm just saying, you approach with Freddie, you're healthy. God, it's great to see you healthy. We want to keep it that way. So we're going to try to work on come up with a plan with him involved. Be honest. If you come in one day, Freddie, just be honest with me. You've earned that right to tell me, and we're not going to think you're, because you're telling me that. That's low, little tweak here and there. Hey, just set her down for the day.
So what's more important to Freddie, playing every day or being great?
Yeah, I want him to be great. Yeah.
I'd say both, right?
Yeah, I love
So, Freddie, you want to play as much as you can while being great?
That's the best part.
You don't want to just play every day and suck. So, as you get older, we're going to have to load manage some of this to keep you great, which I know you want to be. And
like I said, Freddie may have already bought into that. We don't know those conversations, but that's a great question, because that could, if it's the wrong person, that could cause some hard feelings. Hey, I want to set you out. So, hey, bull crap, I want to play every day. Cal Ripken's not playing anymore. Sorry, I'm sure he played a lot of damn days. He probably shouldn't have been playing, but he did. Because he is that guy. But I'm just saying, those probably may. I mean, if you look at it, let's go back when he was hurt. He wouldn't have been as effective in the playoffs if they didn't get him out of there some last year. So it's the same damn thing, except he was actually hurt then. Now we're wanting to keep you fresh by giving you some days off. Rushing can get some run. And the best part about it, Freddie's a team guy. I don't know him, but I know he is by watching him. That makes us a better team if Rushing gets some run at first base. Not only that, Rushing gets some at-bats. Because if you need him being a pinch hitter in a crucial situation, he hadn't been sitting over there for 2 or 3 weeks without swinging the damn thing.
Absolutely. Okay, Coach, so I can't play a whole lot more of the actual spring training video, but we have a question about Noah Miller as far as his shortstop play. Okay, keep in mind, Noah Miller hurt his knee in 2024. In 2023, when he was with the Milwaukee's organization, he won the Gold Glove for all shortstops in the minor leagues. Okay, so this guy, as Alex Friedman put, not me, this is Alex Friedman, the AAA Oklahoma City broadcaster, and he shoots it as straight as you can shoot it. Noah Miller's not a good defender. He is an elite defender. And what makes him elite, Coach, he takes those marginal plays, the tough plays, and he takes all the stress out of them, and he makes them look easy. So I'm not sure, to be honest with you, even if you added Mookie Betts into the equation, that now that Noah Miller is fully healthy, now last year he played, but the knee injury still hampered him. He had the brace on. This is the first year he's been totally free from that knee injury. He doesn't have the brace. He has full range of motion. I'm not sure. I wouldn't go as far to say that Noah Miller, I think you're seeing him you're seeing him on the screen here, is the best defensive shortstop in the organization. If you plugged him at shortstop at the major league level right now, he is going to be well above average defensively. Now, the offensive side, he's a switch hitter. I don't know. I can't tell you. I know the quality contact isn't consistent enough. He doesn't hit the ball hard enough, and he doesn't hit the ball hard enough consistently. So it's going to come down to how well he hits. But I think also a lot of that, you see that swing there, is because his knee has been hampering him. So this is a huge year for Noah Miller. And of all the prospects, I think Noah Miller probably is the prospect that has raised his stock the most.
Well, and the fact that he's a shortstop, as we know, Case, you always, the old rules, you have to put your best athlete shortstop if you have that opportunity. So, but the fact he's healthy, I can vouch for that, Case. I was coaching, blah, 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 just an old man hitting fungo all day long, throwing batting practice. No big deal. I came back after I tore a quad tendon. I had to have surgery over here. And I'm 60-plus years old. I went back to coaching and still, and all of a sudden, throwing BP and swinging a fungo wasn't the same. It hurt. I was sitting there going, no, wait. So I relate that to an elite athlete who's coming off an injury, who's having pain. It's not going to be the same. So, but now
he told me point blank it was restrictive. He said he didn't have pain; it just was restrictive.
Yes, same thing here. That didn't hurt. It wasn't the same. I had a tougher time of landing because it's my left foot. I had a tougher time of landing to throw the ball and to hit fungo. Just for an old man doing that, I'm just saying it changes things. So if he's healthy,
watch this, Coach. Watch this.
Gives you.
I mean, are you kidding me? That ball got all the way in the air. I know he was safe there. Are you kidding me? That's
amazing play.
Yeah, he can play.
A huge year for him, like you said, to stay healthy. We know the defense. That's a great thing for the major league guys. And not telling them anything they don't know every day, 10 times, 100 times more than I do. Great defensive shortstop. Back in the days, he's already in the big leagues. They didn't give a crap if get hit or not. He's already in the big leagues and they're doing whatever. But I know things have changed now. But if he can stay healthy, it's a big year for him. And like I said, Mookie, I mean, you come up as a reserve middle infielder at some point. It's I don't know, maybe next year or something like that. I don't know where we are, but you're pulling for the kid because he's healthy. And you know what kind of talent he has. Man, we're pulling for him because he's a freaking Dodger. Go get him, Owen Miller.
We have a question of who is the third catcher. I think it's probably Zavala. I don't really know a lot about Zavala, but I think probably it's either him or Chucky Robinson. Then you could get into Nelson Quiroses or the Griffin Lockwood pals who are both non-roster invitees. But I think it's either Chucky Robinson, who we actually saw for a minute last year with LA. He was with Oklahoma City. Great dude. He's like the Crash Davis in terms of the way that he works with the young pitchers, and especially Bobby Miller. And he's just that happy guy that's always in a great mood. He's a great culture guy. So I think either Chucky Robinson or Zavala is the third catcher for the Dodgers. So I wanted to show a little bit of film on him, and I know you're not real familiar with any of them. So let's actually get into, and I can't show any more of the spring training video, so I apologize for that. So it's going to have to be video from last year. Josue DePaula, Coach, we got about 7 minutes left. You good with that?
Good. I'm good.
Okay. This is Josue DePaula, 3 hits yesterday. We saw him pull the ball. We saw him also make the bad plays the day before. This is a guy that can flat hit, though, Josue DePaula.
There you go again. I mean, we got one that's a great defender. Not sure about his hitting. It's been hurt. Now you got a guy that can swing it and, a little shaky defensively. The good thing about that, you can get better at that. That's something we've seen it. A few years ago, nobody wanted Max Muncy playing third. He's not the best.
I was the leader of that pack.
Yeah, exactly. He sure as hell ain't the worst third baseman in the league. But for a while there, but he's put the time in and taken care of himself and has made himself a better third. So we know that can be improved as well as hitting too. I get it, but when a guy can swing it, that makes you feel it's the same way. If you look at
Coach, check this out. Palmeiro on the right, DePaula on the left. Tell me how identical this is.
Wow.
Look at that. Are those not identical swings?
That's big time.
Huh?
That's big time.
I'm not saying he's going to be Rafael Palmeiro. I hope he doesn't take steroids, but I'm just saying that's pretty identical.
Should be a Hall of Famer that's never going to be one, and then a guy that has a swing just like him. That is so. I know, Case. We talk about this forever in the history of baseball. A sweet. You always talk about the sweet swing and left-hander. Sweet swing and Billy Williams back in the day of the Cubs. I mean, a beautiful left-handed swing. Freddie's got. I mean, hell, y'all. But to be honest with you, I like a good right-handed swing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kicking ass. So.
Hey, Coach, and then so you have your guys like Josue DePaula who probably aren't going to ETA this year, but they're really kind of auditioning for next year, probably. Right. Okay, then you have your quad A guys. Then you have your Noah Millers who are squarely, Ryan Wards that are Dalton Rushing that are squarely auditioning for either time at all in the major leagues or a bigger role. Then you have guys like Nicolas Cruz, who, by the way, Ala Minerva was our wonderful translator in our interview that we had with Nicolas over the offseason. The Dodgers put it in cruise control yesterday, and cruise control Nicolas Cruz went out there in front of God and everybody else and threw a great inning like he always does. That high-riding fastball, the slider, the changeup. Nicolas Cruz, kind of like Gavin Stone, calling card of being very calm and collected. Look at that changeup. Big time right there. Tell me what you see of Nicolas Cruz, another great changeup, and how cool it is to get a young guy who he's not vying to make the Major League roster. He finished in high A Great Lakes last year. But he is vying to get the attention of a Rick Monday and all the people have never seen him before. That's a cool element to spring training too, isn't it?
Like I say, he's in front of everybody. He's in front of everybody outside of Tommy Lasorda, who's in blue heaven now. He used to. Last time I was there, Tommy was there riding around a cart.
Yep.
So he's everybody in the Dodger blue kingdom who we know and love, and everybody's getting to see him. Me and you ought to be sitting back in those bleachers back here with a cold one and a hot dog. But I know
absolutely
everybody already left. But anyway, maybe one of these days we'll do that. But anyway, no, he looks good. I mean, look at him. I mean, maximum effort. I mean, the fastball up in the zone, these guys have no shot at it.
But he's calm and collected. See, he doesn't look nervous. Nothing looks sped up to him. He looks like he's under control. He's pacing things.
He's max effort, but it's not over the top. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's just kind of every pitch looks the same as far as the way he's finishing on his motion. So, oh, man, what a prospect.
Yeah, no doubt. I really like that. I just love his mentality, too. And then we're going to finish with this guy here. Just kind of tell me what you think. Rake Gutierrez, who finished with AA Tulsa. This guy is a bundle of energy. He's the exact opposite of Nicolas Cruz. He's always constant energy. Look at that changeup, Coach. Let me back that up and show you that changeup one more time. Watch this changeup coming this next pitch. Watch this right here. That's the high-riding fastball off the changeup. Maybe this one's it. Nope. Let me back it up even further. Right there. Yep, that wasn't it. Maybe it's the next pitch. This is kind of clunky. That one. See that changeup? That's a pretty big-time pitch, man. That was a nice pitch. Rake Gutierrez, a bundle of energy. It had to be super exciting for him to get on the main field and get in front of everybody, too.
I think I saw him pitch in Tulsa on a Thursday.
You did?
I was probably about 4 deep.
We texted back and forth. You absolutely did.
I did see him. I was about 4 deep over there with my brother-in-law checking out the drillers on Thursday, man. If you're ever in Tulsa on a Thursday, baby, get over there. Get to see some great baseball, the Dodger farm hands, and a nice cold one there in the summer Oklahoma heat.
Slider.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That slider change up and the bundle of energy. Now, that energy sometimes works against him because he gets all pissed and frustrated. Well, you saw one where I don't think he got out of the first inning. Yeah. I think remember, kid, that he was just getting all pissed and flustered. Yeah. He can do that. That's what I'm talking about. He can let his emotions get to him. But it's fun. It's fun to watch.
I don't know if he even got it. He may have got one out.
Yeah. Isn't it cool getting to see these guys, though? Like you see him in spring training, like, hey, man, I saw that guy. That gets pretty cool whenever you get to be like that.
Great. So we're very fortunate here in case me and you've been in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
In Tulsa and Oklahoma City, we can see all the AA, AAA Dodgers. What a great time to be a Dodger fan in Oklahoma for us, too.
I also think at this moment that Alex Freeland has looked better than Ha-Seong Kim. I think that's a great battle to watch. I think Alex Freeland looks like he's turning a corner to me. And it's going to be super exciting to see Roki Sasaki make his debut for spring training 2026. So you can give your thoughts on that or just final thoughts overall, Coach Holt.
It'd be great. I know that finding that role for Sasaki, I mean, he was great at times as a closer and bullpen and starter. I know he just had some rough edges there. No doubt about the talent that this guy has. And, the Dodgers were able to do what they did, when he wasn't at his top. So you're sitting and thinking, we had a guy named Yamamoto who carried around, and whatever. Just throw me out there. I'll win the game for you, that guy.
Yeah.
So Sasaki, that's exciting to see where he's going to, the improvement we see in the second year with the Dodgers, the backup year with the Dodgers, to see where he's at. That's exciting. I'm like you. I want to see what he's got because we know the stuff's there. There's just a lot more to that we know. We don't, like I said, we don't have to worry about Yamamoto. We know what he's made out of. And
no doubt.
A lot of guys don't have what Yamamoto has, talent or gut-wise. So, but that's an exciting time. And it's an exciting time to be a Dodger fan. I love Dave's speech. I guess it's the first day speech at the clubhouse. I'm sure you saw it. I love that speech, Case. I can, it's going to be harder this year. It's going to be harder for the Dodgers this year, but we don't worry about stuff outside of here. He had a great, it proved, just listen to his first day speech, proves exactly what we already know about the guy, the big time manager, Hall of Fame manager now in my book. But the way he talks to the ball club, it's the Dodgers. We're the Dodgers. I mean, nothing's going to be easy. It hasn't been at this point. It's just going to be harder. So, and just to trust each other, play for each other. I mean, he said all the right things, but it's stuff that we know. It's not just words for him. He lives it, and the ball club lives it every day, and he preaches it, but he lives it, and they believe in him. So I can't wait to get it started. It's great spring training, and I can't wait to see what the Dodgers turn out this year.
Coach, do you know Matt Kemp personally? I know you coached against him.
No, I don't know him personally. Yeah. I've seen him. I've coached against him.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah. I don't either. And then also,
Oklahoma City, I think
we may start this conversation. I was curious to your thoughts. The Dodgers, as we get out of here, we got about 2 minutes left, so we'll probably get into this Friday. But as the Dodgers, they have cornered the Asian market with Haesung Kim being from Korea. Now, it's not Japan, but it is Asian. Do you think that breaks ties with Alex Freeland if it comes down to that, because they don't want to make the Asian market upset? Would the Dodgers do that, you think? Is that even a factor, or am I just having too much of a tinfoil hat on?
I would hope it's not. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, it just kind of went through my head. I was like, I'll ask Coach Holt about that.
Yeah, the tough decisions have to be made. I think they're always going to make the tough decisions. I just hope the Koreans and the Japanese can understand Coach Holt this year. That the translation,
we got you a better mic, Coach. I think we're good to go.
That the translations come through to our great fans in Korea and Japan that we love. Now, I'd be shocked if the Dodgers didn't make the right decision based off something like that, because people.
I'm just saying, would it break a tie if they're exactly tied?
I got you. It would be dicey, but I don't know. That's a tough question. I'm glad I'm not the one having to make that decision.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you have two players tied and one dad donates a lot and the other dad doesn't. I'm not saying you're going to play favorites, but would it break a tie? I'm not saying you would. I'm just that's always that debatable question there. So, Coach, wonderful job.
For me, I was always too stupid to realize that case. I just played who I thought. So.
Well, I was too much of an asshole, so there you go. There you go. Coach Holt, it's great to see your face again. Go I screwed that up. Go Glencoe Panthers. Say that 5 times really fast, right? You guys are in area this weekend, right?
Yep, area finals. You got to win. To win that to go to state tournament. If not, you got to come back Saturday night, try to get the state tournament. So
you got 2 games to win one.
Exciting time over there for our young people, and we'll just see how it goes. It's fun to watch.
By the way, went to the Oklahoma State game last night. It was $2 admission, $2 hot dogs. I went to get my $2 hot dogs, and they had ran out of them in the 5th inning. I was like, what is that?
You can't be offered $2 hot dogs and run out, dude.
In the 5th inning? Yeah. I mean, what the hell was that? She rung up $15, and I was like, what is this?
Run down to Homeland, grab some more hot dogs, microwave them.
I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
All right, Coach, great to see your face. I love you.
Great to see you. Love you, too. Got to see Terry Porter at Glencoe the other night. Great to see him. And tell Beverly I said hello, and I love your family and love you, Case. Go Dodgers.
All you Dodgers dogs, you're the absolute best. Thank you so much for tuning in again. 9 o'clock Pacific. We're going to make this just a thing all year long. And so thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, can't wait to see Roki Sasaki today. It's a great day to be a Dodger.